Good morning, my name is Graham Drage and I'm the prospective parliamentary candidate for Reform UK in Godalming Ash. Today I'm out here running on the North Downs Way, one of my regular routes in the morning. It's a stunning part of Surrey in which I was born and in which I grew up. I went to school here in Guildford and Godalming. I bought a house here. I raised a family and I set up a couple of businesses. But why am I running? Why am I standing for reform? Well, I was fortunate enough to have a great education, great state education in Guildford and Godalming, which took me on to university to read politics and French. Soon after university, I set up a small consultancy in the tech sector, which I ran for about 25 years. And in 2004, I also created a manufacturing business building wine cellars, and I ran that for about a decade and a half until the pandemic hit. For me, my youth and early 20s was filled with hope and positivity and aspiration. As a young man from a working class background, I was steeped in the belief that if I worked hard and saved sensibly and took calculated risks, I could own my own home like my parents did, and I could establish a business which would look after me and my family and my staff. But now that aspiration and that hope seems to be fast disappearing. The Tories have transformed into a party of the Green Left. The government's spending is way beyond its means. The public debt has ballooned to something like 180,000 for every man, woman and child, 2.7 trillion. This isn't only deferred taxation for you and me, it's also a debt trap for our children and our grandchildren, which is a devastating thought. How will our kids ever get on the housing ladder when the average house price in Surrey is about 625,000? How will they ever pay off their student loans? Where are the structured apprenticeships when the apprenticeship levy is acting like a massive handbrake? Where's the support? Where's the sense of optimism that any of these kids can set up a business in an economic environment that's so punitive these days, especially where taxation claws at every hard-earned penny? Corporation tax, VAT, business rates, dividend tax, capital gains tax, not to mention all of the EU red tape, which should have been dispensed with years ago. The Tories are an unmitigated disaster. Jeremy Hunt, our current Chancellor and our own MP in Godalming and Surrey, has been instrumental in creating the hostile economic environment which we're all feeling every day. A low growth, low wage, high tax economy with a very, very high administrative burden. The Tories are holding us back. Mr. Hunt is holding us back. And Labour and the Lib Dems, they can't be trusted. There's no doubt they're going to keep spending and they're going to keep taxing us until the pips squeak. So I'm standing for Reform UK because I believe that reform is what's needed. Reform of our economy, NHS, policing, immigration, energy and environment, the education sector and student loans, defence, housing and agriculture, and of course fisheries, just to name but a few. And we need a proper Brexit, of course. Reform are the only centre-right party who are going to be on the ballot paper on the 4th of July. Over the next month, I'm going to be posting a few more videos setting out my aspirations through Reform UK for our amazing constituency in Godalming and Ash and for the country as a whole. So please tune in and hear what I've got to say. Reform are a thoroughly decent, reasonable, modest and proportionate party who are focused on rebuilding our economy for everyone and putting hard-working, tax-paying citizens at the heart of it. I wouldn't be standing for reform if they weren't. So, thank you for listening. I'm going to run down the hill now, back to my house. But as I close, just to say, and just to remind you, my name's Graham Drage. I'm the Reform parliamentary candidate for Godalming and Ash, and I'm the man that's going to be replacing Jeremy Hunt on the 4th of July.